it really is a global problem.
It really is. And
so
there's
what
a
do you
lot of
think
money
we can
to be
do?
made from it.
Yeah. What do you think we can do?
That's why they're afraid of actually taking care of people, you know?
That's scary. We vote for someone who is afraid to take care of us.
They're buying political influence. They're just buying our politicians.
Wait, so power belongs to people. We as people give it to the politicians, and politicians.
And who's buying our politicians?
You know, everybody should have the freedom to be who they want to be and do what they want to do, and not be forced by necessity to do something they don't want to do.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Creative Society TikTok show. Today I have my beautiful co-host Olga with me.
Hello.
Yeah, and today we have a very special guest all the way from Utah, Salt Lake City, Jeiron.
Hello, everybody. Good to see you.
Jeiron, tell us your location. Where are you?
I'm at the International Peace Gardens right now in Salt Lake City, Utah.
That's awesome. Really nice. It's beautiful.
Yes.
And tell us more about your background. What do you do?
I do a lot of different jobs. I don't really take pride in my work right now, but I just do like normal.
I'm like normal working American.
Working American, that's right. Just I've done a lot of different jobs. Just regular bottom of the totem pole jobs. That's me for now.
We call it middle class hero. You don't say that way. You are the person that America stands should be stand for, but stands on the shoulders of heroes like yourself. Right. So today we have a set of some TikTok videos which recently got some pretty decent amount of views across different platforms, and we would like to watch them all together with you. For you, it might be the first time you're going to be watching them, or if you have seen them before, in case, just let us know and tell us what you think about it and what are your thoughts. And we want to, the ones you're going to be watching for the first time, we want to see your reaction to, like, are those facts shocking to you, or what do you think? Like, did you know that this happened in here, this happened in there, and sometimes even in different states, sometimes maybe even in your own state?
Yeah, and before we start on the first one, Jeiron, tell us about how did you find out about the project Creative Society? How did you get involved? Like, tell us like a little bit of the story there.
You know, before I was involved with the Creative Society, I was involved with another group called the Humanity Party, and from there we weren't having a lot of luck really influencing society, so I branched out and I just started trying to influence people wherever I could. I moved to like the People's Party, which is a progressive political party that's trying to get going in America. And I tried to just influence them around they had a political economics circle of people that would just chat about economics. And so I was on that little circle, just chatting it up with those people. And and then sometime during this, I found Carolina Streamwild in one of Andrew Yang's Facebook groups. And so from there, she posted about Creative Society, and so I checked out the project and looked into everything going on behind the scenes and the what else?
Well, here you are.
And I watched, and I watched the conference, United We Can. That was one of my favorite conferences. So here we are.
Awesome. So let's roll the first video from TikTok, and we will get your reaction, and then we'll talk more about it.
Okay.
All right.
Why is the existence of these camps around the world beneficial? What prevents this issue from being solved once and for all? The answer is obvious. Refugees are a business, shady business, where the goods are people. You are a commodity. Refugees are easy prey. They will not be sought. No one needs them, neither the state from which they are fleeing, nor the host party.
The refugee crisis. You know, I wish it was a better business where, like, we actually had, like, if we gave them something that the Humanity Party calls a human e-card, and we put that in the hands of every refugee, that card will pay for their housing and their food and their medical, anything that they need to survive, and that would make them actually valuable to the businesses that would take care of them, rather than businesses that are just trying to make money themselves so that they can survive. You know, I don't think you'd have an organ selling business from people who aren't themselves trying to survive in some way. That just seems really cruel. You know?
And you know what? I just learned that there is 100 million of refugees in our world. So that's a huge number. That's not just like few sprinkled here and there. It really is a global problem.
It really is. And
so
there's
what
a
do you
lot of
think
money
we can
that can be
do?
made from it.
Yeah. What do you think we can do?
It's as at the level of governments can solve that problem if they would decide to fund the monetary resources to pay for helping those people. And that's, you know, like in America, we've got Section 8 housing and food stamps and these social programs that help some people, although they're a little bit restricted, rather than the way they should be, which is available to everyone. But if we made those kinds of programs available to everyone on planet Earth, and we just said, we're going to fund it 100% of anything you need, then the businesses can come and take the business of the people who need that, anything that, whatever they need provided for them. They can go and they can swipe a card at Walmart and get the food they need, or we could even have a program. This is one of my favorite ideas for a program. We can have all-you-can-eat buffets all over the world. You go.
Oh my God! Sign me up! I want that.
You go into an all-you-can-eat buffet once a day, $15 a day. You swipe your card at that buffet, and you can eat whatever. Especially, you might have nutritional experts trying to make it so that it's actually healthy for the human body, but that's the point. If you're going to eat for free, it should be healthy food.
Yeah.
Because we need some kind of incentive to eat healthy, right?
Right.
It's actually a great idea. And we should be setting this kind of goals. Like, you know, when 20 or 30 years ago, they were talking about, oh, we're going to stop the fridges on frying gas, and we're going to fight the holes in ozone layer, and then we're going to suck out all the CO2 out of the atmosphere. I'm like, what are these guys talking about? But now we see so much money going towards those things. So I'm like, instead of sucking some molecules out of the air, maybe we could provide food. Yeah. And
maybe real deal. Hey, no more refugees. Let's provide food for everyone, good conditions, livable. Like, let's do that. Because the point you brought on is that we as a country, United States, we don't even have a goal that we're going towards. At least I don't know what that goal is. I don't know if you guys know what the goal is of United States.
Oh my gosh, it's raining there.
It's raining pretty hard right now.
Oh, nice.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
So
Jaren,
what do you think the goal is of United States?
I'm thinking the goal of the United States right now is to spread democracy around the world. Like, at least it's been for the past like 20 years, but without no obvious reason. Like, we don't even have it here in the US. So what are we spreading? And did we ask those people, do they even want it? Like there was a hilarious thing, like when the former president was answering questions, and they asked him, "Oh, we got into Afghanistan. Why do women still wear in their traditional clothes that's covering parts of the body?" And he says, because they want. We asked them, and they don't want to take it off. They used to wear it, and they love it. Like, what are we supposed to do there? So maybe people want to live the way they want to live. And if you want to provide them better healthcare, better education, better food, yeah, then please do. But don't try to push your cultural values, which not everyone even agrees on in your own society, onto somebody else. This export of democracy just simply didn't work, because it always comes with some side effects, I would say so, and usually to the economy and to the unity of countries which were affected by so-called spreading of democracy around the world. So it would be cool to actually have our assets, have our money working for the economy of the US, create a beautiful, thriving society here in the US, and show the example that it's possible, that self-governing society where people actually have freedom, not just delegate this vote once every 4 years because some pop star or Eminem says, "Oh, I voted, I have the sign." Yeah, that's great, but you give away your power to somebody else. How about you actually participate in decision making on local level, on city level, on state level, on governmental level? I still want to have contact with the officials who execute the power once I delegated them my voice to them. And technologies allow us to do that. So I would like.
What do you think the internal goal is for United States?
I think most people who are actually involved are in a bubble, right? And if you're a politician and you're serving the interests of some business people that are lobbying you and whining and dining you, they're going to say, "Well, we've got these resources to help with this problem," and you're like, "Okay, well, we're going to try to write this into a bill. Maybe we can string." But they're not thinking big picture. They don't really understand. They're
As the country, we don't have a goal, right? Like it used to be, we're going to put men on the moon, and now that goal was complete. So what's the next goal? Like, what are we doing? Are we going to provide the democracy here so everybody is fed, everyone is happy, everyone has job that they love, and if they choose not to work, they're still taken care of? Like, what's the next goal?
Right, and I think what they're worried that if they take care of people, that they're not going to want to do the jobs that they currently have, because they're going to have to increase. They're going to have to make the working conditions better for people to even get them to want to work for them. So
that's for sure.
And that's why they're afraid of actually taking care of people.
Oh God, that's scary. We vote for someone who is afraid to take care of us.
Right? That's pretty crazy.
That's crazy.
And that's an insane society, the way that's set up.
Well, yeah, we need to change that for sure. We need to put the power back into hands of people, because we're smart enough to make decisions that will benefit us.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah.
Let's have a little bit more faith in the humanity, in the people themselves, and their ability to actually make decisions for themselves. Because everyone's like, "Oh, these people, they don't know." Well, people have been surviving, despite politicians, not thanks to politicians, but despite them for so many years. So let's actually go ahead and switch to our second video, watch it together, and see what are we thinking about this one.
Bulk of climate finance was allocated to renewable energy sources, mainly solar and wind power plants. 3.4 trillion was spent on this, but did it really help stabilize the climate? As we can see, no, the number of natural disasters continues to grow at an alarming rate, so these funds do not solve the problem. So what do? Perhaps they did help reduce growth of the CO2 amount. It turns out they didn't. CO2 keeps rising. So how does that work out? We've already spent $5 trillion on nothing.
Huge nothing burger out of trillions of dollars.
My God.
Nothing. And disincentivizing our, energy needs for like through gasoline and stuff like that.
Yeah, you know what's interesting? Yesterday I talked to my friend, and he's German, and he has his daughter that lives in Germany. He lives here in the United States, and he said that her gas bill to just keep her house nice and warm, or nice and cool, is 1,800 euros. So it's like $2,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked him, how can she afford that? And he said, well, I send her money. I'm like, okay, so you send her money, she can afford it. But what about the rest of Germany? This crisis, the crisis that we're having right now, and there is no answer.
Wait, 2,000 euros? 1,800 euros?
A month.
A month? What is it? Is it like multi-story, multi-apartment complex?
No, probably just, little house.
Wow, that's insane.
The German dream.
I was talking to my friend from who lives in Switzerland, and it used to cost them about $1,000 to, like in francs, whatever the local currency is, to go through the winter with like regular heater that works on some fossil fuels, and that's a standard over there. And he said recently it came to 5,500. So it's gonna last you the winter, but it went from 1,000 to 5,500. Which is a lot, which is like for locals, even though Switzerland is a rich country, this is a lot. So locals started switching into the electric power and buying small heaters. And this is being banned officially now by the government because they don't want people to
too much CO2.
Not just that, yeah, but the power grid is not ready for so many electric devices. It's gonna consume a lot of electricity, and the power grid's not ready. They don't have that much electricity over there. So it looks like we're collapsing. We invested $5 trillion to collapse.
Oh yeah, I have some friends who own a company. It's called Tilted Green International, and they have a fuel additive that is highly concentrated. They can add just a couple drops to a couple drops to your fuel tank, and you'll get like another 5 to 10% fuel economy because it works as a catalyst and it gets rid of the harmful emissions that come out of your car. Most of them, about 60% or so. There's some, and if the government decided, hey, let's put this in every gas and put it in all the fuel around the country, then the gasoline industry would just lose, about 5% of their profits.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. So why do we? I guess why do we function like this? It's ridiculous to function like that, but here we are signing all kinds of bills to try to catch CO2, which I know that is 0.004 of our atmosphere. So even if you catch it all, it's not going to change nothing. And it's not guaranteeing that the tornado is not going to come, that the mudslide is not going to happen. It's not guaranteeing anything to us, but they're saying it is for climate change reasons.
My opinion on climate change is that all the water is just falling into the oceans and the land's drying up, and we're not watering plants, and our policy of water conservation is we're not making the plant life on the land thrive. And so what happens is the plants don't retain the water, the moisture. And water itself is a high heat. It has very high heat capacity. So when the sun is shining on an area with lots of water in it, or it has a lot of plant life, you're going to have stable temperatures most of the time. or if you live like in California and you're right next to an ocean, you have more stable temperatures between night and day and summer and winter times, maybe. Well, especially in San Diego. But the idea is that if you live in a desert, you can have extreme temperatures, and if you look at the world maps, everything's just drying out. It's starting to look like a desert everywhere.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely. Lake Mad in the one that's watering more than half of California is getting dry. It's like on the maps. I don't know if you've seen the maps of 2017 and 2022. They are drastic changes. And we've been talking to the people who are also saying that there is a huge processes going on inside of the Earth. So more and more often we see reports of huge cracks in the Earth crust appearing and the whole lakes disappearing in like matter of like days and weeks. And what's left on the bottom of the lake is just a small hole or crack through which the whole water has been gone. And same things happening with the waters all over Europe right now. They have this super
they're drying up.
Huge problem with lack of water in their local rivers. They call those hungry stones. There are stones on the bottom of the rivers that says if you see the stones, it means you're gonna have no crops. You should cry.
Yeah.
But like that's super sad. Like we're losing water. We have people that don't have even access to the water, and then we have CEOs of companies saying that the water should not even belong to people. It should belong to a corporation. Like, are we crazy? Like, is this a real life, or are we in a circus act?
We need to get on the water lobby.
Mother Nature should lobby for herself, right? Or I don't know.
Right.
No. I think the Association of Mental Health should lobby for improving the mental health situation of people, to actually show them that, guys, you have to unite and build society which is based on human values, not the monetary values. Otherwise, we're just not gonna make it. Like, how much more obvious could it be by now? But I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe yeah. You see, at the same time, we're seeing strange things. Like there are so much more hurricanes, so much more floods, so much more stuff like related to extreme climatic events where there is a lot of water appearing somewhere. But then at the same time, it's not filling up the rivers and the reservoirs and the lakes. Like, isn't this something for us to consider, to think about? I think let's leave our viewers with their thoughts, which they could share in the comment section. Why is that happening? And as to us, I offered to go to the video number 3.
People are killed mercilessly and taxed. You see, all Social Security and all other benefits are cut down. Why? Because people are a resource, nothing more. While in the creative society, a human is the most important and the main unit. You see, it cannot be otherwise. That's how it should be. And that's what unification is based upon. Unification in order to improve the quality of life of each of us so that we can leave a true legacy to our descendants, a true one. This is freedom. That freedom, which people have always been fighting for.
I think it would be great if we didn't have to pay taxes. But maybe, there could be a good reason to have taxes on like
no, Jaren, no, there is no good reason. Come on.
Give me a second. In ushering in the creative society, it might be a good idea to have a consumption tax on luxury goods that changes every year, and it goes down based on an algorithm as we spend less public funds on people's basic needs. And what that means is that as more people are being taken care of, we won't need nearly it'll make it more incentivized and more profitable for companies to focus on people's basic needs. And when that's taken care of, then we can cut the taxes out.
I like that transition period.
Yeah. I mean, it totally makes sense what you were saying, and the point of it is to make it not a revolutionary thing, but make it evolutionary. Like, we don't want to do sudden moves when we're making any serious transitions, because like whatever we're doing, we have to see the benefits of how exactly it improves our life, and that is one of the reasons why we talk about self-governing, because unless that is happening, then we always gonna have this one lobbyist that walking into the cabinet with a bunch of offers for your politician, and just like, making it the way that, oh yeah, others gonna pay some taxes, but our company is gonna go through this loophole where we're gonna register another company somewhere offshore and set our intellectual property over there, and gonna sign off our whatever we make in profit as if we would pay it for the intellectual value to that country. And this is what most of the American tech companies are doing. And not only tech, this is the primary reason why everyone is having an office somewhere in Europe, especially Ireland, because it's a huge loophole not to pay taxes here in the US. So you see, I think the bigger problem is not to set the number, set a good number, but to actually make the taxes inevitable, because at this point there's barely anyone paying the taxes out of those who are really making this huge profits as companies. As Amazon, for example, they have half a billion dollar revenue, but out of those money, government trying to make them pay at least 15% as a company, and they have not been able to do even that. So right now, the most recent bill signed, the so-called climate bill, it says that companies that make over $1 billion in revenue supposed to pay at least 15% in taxes. And I was like, oh, wait, is there any company that makes over $1 billion? And there is none. So I was like, is that the projection of the inflation that's going to make 500 million look like $1 billion in next year? That's the hint that trying to make. I don't know.
If people would agree to it, but I don't think it'd be a while if we could get a worldwide inflationary law that mitigates inflation on the products that you produce, and makes it so that your company has to produce and sell more goods in the market. You have to gain the business of the people. In order to make more money instead of increasing your prices, then that would be revolutionary.
Yeah, it's actually very interesting. The very same climate bill says we're gonna take 7,500 of tax credit for each person who buys a new electric vehicle. And you know what the automotive companies did right away? They increased the price of their cars up to $8,000. So like, they're gonna make this money, but you're gonna pay even more, which is like, to me it sounds like, oh wow,
it's a scam. It's a scam, you guys. It's not a bill, it's a scam, like, really. And no one is winning. Like, really, if you look at it, like every bill and I don't know why they're on such a bill strike right now, because it seems like there's a new bill coming out every week, but none of that actually benefits my life. None of it. My life, or the life of 300 plus million Americans that live here. So why are we shooting those bills out? Jérôn, your feedback? What's going on?
Well, it's because there was a study done about policies that get passed. I think Princeton did this study, but I'm not sure. And so if there was an idea that 0% of people supported, there was like a 30% chance that it would pass. And if there was a policy that 100% of people supported, there was about a 30% chance that it would get passed. And then they made another graph, and it says and and there's another graph that's made for the interests of the wealthy and the extremely wealthy. And if there is a 0% chance that they want something passed, it's very, very slim that it will get passed. And if there is a 100% chance that they want something passed, it's like, 80% that's going to get passed.
So it's an upside down pyramid here, right? We live in a world that's spinning upside down. It's very interesting. Maybe do you think that's why
they're buying political influence? They're just buying our politicians.
Wait, so power belongs to people. We as people give it to the politicians, and politicians.
And who's buying our politicians?
Who's paying the salaries to these politicians? You cannot blame the people. It's the whole system that has to be redesigned in some way.
That's right. We need a new constitution.
Oh, for sure, yes. And Jérôn, talking about the new constitution and the American dream, I wanted to ask you a question. What's the definition of American dream for you? And has that changed maybe in the past couple of years?
My idea of maybe even the world dream is just that everybody should have the freedom to be who they want to be and do what they want to do, and not be forced by necessity to do something they don't want to do.
Yeah.
That's in summary for you.
This is very deep and profound, and thank you for saying that. It's a very good answer in a sense that it resonates with how I see it. People should be taking decisions not out of fear or out of necessity to lose their jobs or to stay without ability to survive, but out of the one question: how do I make something good for the world, for myself, for the society around me? And if we could create conditions for people to think that way, that would be a big change.
Yes, and we can with a creative society. And the creative society is the American dream, is where everyone is taken care of, and actually human life is number one priority. So I think that's the piece that we all missing, is that we're trying to focus on money, we're trying to focus on products, we're trying to focus on profits, but we forget that we are all human beings, and it's so important to just unite under this one idea of building a society around human beings, not around someone's ego, profit, and whatever, interests they have. So that's why I advocate for creative society, like every day, creative society, we're doing it. We got just spread information. And Jérôn, what's your feedback on the creative society as a format?
I like where this is going, and I like the culture around this. It's a very good culture.
Yeah, because it's people, right? No one kicked you out yet because everybody is involved as they want to be, or, put as much effort or as little effort. We all volunteer to do it. And, no one is coming with the pile of money and telling us what to do. And that's what makes us different. We're just human beings with the passion and drive for life. And we are not afraid to show it and spread this message.
Right. It's very good. It's really, it stands out above every other thing, just because, if you want to get involved, you can. You just pick up your phone and do your thing.
For sure. Yeah. Thanks so much. And thanks so much for being on. I know you're on your walk and you went through the rain and sunshine and everything, but that's
it's not raining anymore.
Oh. That's awesome. So, Jérôn, what last wish do you have for our audience? What do you have on your mind, heart? What is that you want for the world?
I think if everybody just took the time to imagine the world that we all want to live in, and we pursued that with all of our hearts and with goodness towards all people, then I think we can do it.
For sure.
Thank you. Thank you for being with us today. Thank you for sharing your ideas and thoughts, really profound, beautiful thoughts. I hope people are gonna hear your message, and people are gonna love seeing how much honest and how much easier it is to be honest and just live your life as you want with like, switch separation and division for unity. It no-brainer. It's so easy. Stop listening to those who try to separate us and unite as people on universal values, on those things that unite all of us, no matter where you're from, no matter what's the color of your skin, no matter what are your beliefs. There are things that unite all people, and we call those the 8 foundations of the creative society. If you haven't seen those yet, please check them out on our website, creativesociety.com. And if you like those, and if you would like to contribute to creation of the world in which those would be the primary values of our society, please click join us button, and let's maybe even meet you on our future episodes. For sure.
Visit creativesociety.com to click that button, join us, and you can follow us on social media, and come on and be a guest on any of our shows. We do a lot of things like that. We're all volunteers, 180 countries. We're making it happen, and we want everybody who is ready to build a creative society to join us. So join us, guys, and we'll see you next time.